everybody, welcome back to my channel, Fishing AT. And today I'm fishing at a new venue for me, Sand Point in North Somerset, which is a promontory or headland of rock that juts out into the Bristol Channel. And I've got Weston-super-Mare to the south, and I've got sort of Clevedon and Portishead to the north. Not fished here before. I'm fishing on the north side of the promontory. I'll put a little map mark to show you where I'm fishing. As you can see, it's a lovely day. It's quite bright. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and the tide is on the way out, so it's about 2.5 hours on the ebb has gone. Low water I think is around about 1 o'clock, and then obviously pushing back in. I've just put the first cast out. I suspect it's quite rocky out in front of me, so I've got a rotten bottom on the pulley pennel trace that I've got. A rag and squid cocktail on there, but I suspect, as I say, it's quite snaggy. Haven't fished here before. I popped into real fun fishing at Portishead Marina, chatted to one of the lads there, and he sort of gave me advice. I think I'm fishing in the spot he sort of suggested to fish, but anyway, we'll see. It's a bit of a sort of exploratory mission today to see how things go. Anyway, I'll come back to you soon. So just talk you through the rigs I'm using today. As I said, I'm using a pulley pennel. If you can see it there, I've got it. This would be clipped onto my clip on my leader. I'm fishing down about a 3-foot trace, 80-pound mono, two Varivas big mouth extras, size 2.0. And then on the lead side going down, I've got a Gemini splashdown link, and then I've got another Gemini link underneath there, a little offset link, and then I tie slightly lighter line. In this case it's 18-pound. I'm fishing 25-pound main line, so I've got 18-pound line on here down to my lead. Just clip that on there. Excuse me while this goes a bit funny. There you go. And then I just clip that onto my lead there. It hits the water and just drops off. So that's the traces I'm using today on both rods. About an hour in, you can see there's quite a lot of weed in front of me showing now. So we'll have to see how this goes on low tide. Obviously a lot of tide height in terms of the I think low tide 1 o'clock. I think we've got about 8 meter drop on tide. I've already moved down from where I was fishing before. You can see the rocks up behind me, so obviously the tide is going out at quite a rate of knots, and I might be faced with a lot of weed right out in front of me there. We'll have to see how we go on that one. But a lovely mark, South Wales over there in the distance, and one of the islands there. I don't know which one it is, but lovely spot. And you can see that, well, you might not be able to pick it up actually, a very strong tidal race coming around the tip there on Sand Point. Well, I thought my GoPro was filming, but I'd managed to start it and then stop it. I had a good rattle on the pulley pennel squid bait, and I basically had a bass of about 2 pounds. So there was a couple of pictures of it and a video of me just looking over the fish on the weeds, but the sort of video winding him in, and then the release where he swam off and then he managed to beach himself again, so I had to go and get him and put him back in the channel. Hasn't been recorded, but anyway, it was a good fight. Quite tough ground, obviously. As I said, in front of me here I've moved about 100 yards to the left just to try and get a sort of less weed in front of me, but there's still quite a bit really when you look here. I'm probably about 30 yards back from the sea edge, water's edge, and basically from where I was fishing up there, there's probably a good, I don't know, what's that, 70-80 yards of rock and weed in front of me. So not surprising I was getting sort of snagged up every time. I think one of the lessons learnt today for me is certainly come and do some reconnaissance at low tide and have a look. You can look at videos on YouTube and see people fishing, but obviously you're not exactly sure where they are unless they specifically tell you. So thoroughly on this mark anyway, thoroughly recommend you come down and do some reconnaissance. Okay, come back to you hopefully when I get another fish. Well, it's low tide now, and as you can see, vast expanses of weed in front of me and rock, but the odd mud patch starting to appear. So I'm going to persevere here. I've lost a couple of weights on my rotten bottom rigs and lost one trace so far, so very snaggy. But you've got to be in it to win it. Oh, we see how we go. There we go. That was a bluey and squid cocktail. Lots of people out walking, very popular point to walk on, quite obviously high up above the water. So some guy fishing out over there in the boat, and you can see the sort of, he's just in the current line there. So low tide, hopefully we'll get something now as the tide turns. Oh, a bit of a slackline bite here. Back in the rest so we can see that one a bit maybe. Yeah, I think there's something there. Let's have a look at this. Not sure whether I'm stuck. I think I am. This is the one I've just cast out. Squid and bluey. missed it. I know I've got a lot of weed on the line by the looks of it. I think I missed it. Oh no, something there. Slippery snake by the looks of it. Well, they will count. There we go. So look at him. Let's put this down. Oh, there's a tiny, tiny strap on the squid and bluey. He's going to give me the twists now, I think. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. There you go. There you go. There you go. Oops. Oh. Like bars of soap. Oh, there we go. Tiny little conger, maybe about a pound. Put him in. There we go, mate. Off you go. And he's gone. So I say that was a squid and bluey. Just gone out. Basically, must have picked it up straight away. I lost my weight on the rotten bottom there, you can see. So the rotten bottom line, £18. My main line is 25, and obviously the weight is gone. But still, fish. Second fish of the day after that bass I had earlier on that I failed to record. Just a solitary picture of that. Similar sort of fight, really. Bit of a snag up and then a pull out. So that was a nice start. I put him back in. I was quite away from my bag, so I didn't really weigh him or measure him, but I guess, I say, he's probably 2 to 3 pounds, but not big enough to take home. Not good cast again. Struggling with my casting today. Anyway, see what that brings. Got a rag and squid cocktail on a pulley pennel. Lost the last rig on the other rod. Pretty much getting snagged up every cast. I should think about moving, but it's too late in the session for that. I think I'll just put this one down to experience. I've caught a couple of fish, which I haven't blanked, so that's a good thing. So it's kept me busy with all the traces that I'm having to tie. Leaders lost. It's clouded over now, so it's not so bright and sunny as it was, and the tide is pushing in quite strong. Much more pull, I'd say, on the coming in than actually going out. So something to bear in mind. So probably give it another hour and a half, and we'll see how we go from there. A lot of tension on the line here. I think I've picked up some weed rather than it being a fish, weed and tide. Oh, it's proving really hard fishing here. Getting snagged up every time. And when you do give a bit of ground, you tend to pull into another snag. There's a bit of weight, but I think I've caught some weed. Yeah, rather than a fish. I'm actually snagged now. Bugger. Huh. Little classic weed fish. Still got my weight back. That's a first for about 5 casts. Let's bait up again and see if we can catch something. Well, I've called it a day. Been a tough session, but I caught 2 fish. Bass 2.5 pound and a conger probably about £1.5 and learnt a little bit about Sand Point on the north side. I just walked up a bloody enormous hill out of breath just to see what the view was like, and it's absolutely fantastic. You can see the point down in the distance there. South Wales, there's a boat coming in there, Newport, where I used to work, and then in the far distance there the new Severn Bridge. I think when I was chatting to Steve in the fish shop in Real Fun Fishing, Portishead, I think that's where I was meant to go, the little bay down there. He talked about a bay, and I think I went to the wrong one. Certainly, well, from here, but it's hard to say. It looks like maybe the rocks are slightly more steeply shelving there into the water, and maybe less weed flats and mud flats with rock and weed. Anyway, that's for another day. I'm knackered. I'm gonna go home. Put my feet up and watch some telly. I think there hasn't been much to like on this one, not many fish, a lot of snags, but please like and subscribe, and hopefully I can get out again next week, and who knows, might be Sand Point Part 2. Take care everyone, and tight lines.